TVC Entertainment _, and we'll be seeing all that we have lined up for you. Speaking of what we have lined up,
Gabriel Balogun, a speaker, workshop facilitator, and L&D leader known for cultivating high-performing teams. Well, he'll be here this morning, and our topic for motivation will be maximizing our time, getting a lot more done in very little time.
and of course, when it's one of the most...
And then, of course, we do have SME this morning. Titi?
We actually have quite a bit today. We have two interesting guests we're going to have later on. Ambassador Engineer Victory Ifeanyichukwu Olisevede, founder and CEO of Fresh Tech Automotive, also known as a celebrity mechanic. He's going to be joining us on the show today. It's going to be a really interesting one.
And we have music performance. Simoni, a rapper, singer, songwriter, will be here to perform this morning.
Interesting one. You don't want to miss it.
Titi, the way you said that title.
What? Yeah, Babu. Really? Is that?
I wouldn't say it as well as you did.
Really?
So yeah. So weekend was not so good, and this is why on Saturday, in a bid to get fuel, I had to get through to someone, and this person had to go get in a jerry can. Now you know that they say that in some filling station before you buy fuel, though, you buy meat pie.
Wow.
That is fact. You buy meat pie. So this one.
Wow.
So the guy had to go with jerry can, and before you buy, you'd have to give 2,000 if you're going to buy in a keg and all of that.
Wow.
And this was a 40-liter keg, and I spent 44,000. And I've never even gotten it full yet.
Wow.
But then after that one happened, I was now virtue had left me. On Sunday, I now sat down. There's something here. They say retirement age is 67, life expectancy 78. Work for 50 years to maybe enjoy 11. Start enjoying your life now. So me, I say, let me enjoy my life now. On Sunday, then I just sat down. So let me order fish, eat alone, catfish.
Okay.
So just eat alone. No.
Okay. What the happened? Wow. What happened?
I was throwing up.
Wow.
And it was both ways. Throwing up, excreting till early this morning.
No.
I couldn't. I wanted to. It was a popular place. I wanted to go back and see. So I wanted to see, but I was thinking, what might have caused it? Is it my system or something? But it was a very terrible experience yesterday.
Oh,
and so I was thinking, so it was how easy it can be for something to happen when you are enjoying life.
wow.
So now I have PTSD now. If you bring fish near me,
seafood you Kukuma were already shying away from. Now they've added fish to it.
Problem.
No, so now I actually wanted to say I'm really sorry about that experience you had, and that this is coming from someone that also has a very sensitive system, and I totally do. I don't think it's your system. I think if you actually want to go back there to complain about it, you totally should. Because there are other people that may also have had the same experience. And now it's also for the business. So last night, my husband and I went for an event. From there, we decided to actually stop by at one of our really popular places. We actually like to stop to buy like shawarma and some other things, ram meat and things like that. And then on getting there, amazingly, like it's actually someone we know. The person that owns the place is also a pilot and all of that. So we've met him there on several occasions, but recently he has actually not been on ground. But then again, we realized that normally they sell like masa, you know masa,
yeah,
right? And they put it in like in a bowl. So we realized that there were some masas, probably leftovers, on the counter, and then it looked like it had grown, it was moldy, and it was on the counter, and I was looking at it. I couldn't order anything. I couldn't eat anything. And I literally it was moldy and was right there. I literally had to tell one of the girls to tell them to take that thing off there. It's not my business.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But first of all, you know, even the general customer service, and I was already ticked off, but by the time I saw that, I couldn't order anything again, and I told myself, and my system knows, once I just tell myself, if I mistakenly eat that's the end.
Wow.
So I just feel Nigerian businesses literally need to be super careful and train their servers better.
Abroad, you would never, like, even seeing a fly in an establishment is like
terrible.
They could sue you just for seeing.
And when I actually told her, the response was not necessarily, they're just like, I'm like, it's not your business now, it's not your fault. The person that is sweating here, paying you.
Regulatory authorities that need to take over in this particular regard, because there are just too many instances of things like food poisoning and the like in a lot of our restaurants and food establishments. But that's another conversation for another day. Hopefully the right people are listening. Let's take a quick look at the weather at this point, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilaya Oyinson. Thanks for joining us. We start off with continuous efforts by military personnel to prefer solutions to insecurity in the country. Airstrikes by the air components of operations Hadin Kai in the northeast and World Punch in the north central have killed terrorists and destroyed their structures. This development was made known in a statement by NAF spokesman Edward Gabkwet, who explained that the insurgents were neutralized on 3rd of May at Shinene, which is a location inside the Mandara mountain area near Borno State. Air Vice Marshal Gabkwet also mentioned that terrorists in Alawa village near Shiroro local government area of Niger State were killed following credible intelligence, which had revealed the migration of terrorists into the village after the mass exit of locals for fear of their safety. Away from that, now to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which has dissociated itself from a report claiming it has released a full list of former governors being investigated for alleged corruption. The anti-graft agency described the report in one of the news outlets as false and mischievous, adding the commission neither issued the said list nor entertained discussions on investigation of former governors with any news medium. The EFCC says the so-called list is designed to achieve motives known only to the authors and should be ignored by the public. The Commission also advised the media to cross-check facts pertaining to matters under investigation to avoid misleading the public. Outside Nigeria, Israel has closed the main crossing point for humanitarian aid to enter into Gaza after a Palestinian armed group fired rockets at a military base, injuring about 10 persons. The armed wing of Hamas said it had targeted troops with short-range rockets. Mediators in the Egyptian capital, Cairo, have held 2-day talks aimed at securing a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages held by Hamas. In a statement, Hamas says the latest round had ended on Sunday and that its delegation would now travel to Qatar to consult with the group's leadership. According to reports, the truce proposal is believed to involve a 40-day pause in fighting while hostages are released and the release of a number of Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli jails.
Citing the worsening humanitarian tragedy in the Gaza Strip, Turkey has suspended all trade with Israel over its offensive in the Gaza Strip. The Turkish Trade Ministry says it will keep the measures in place until Israel allows an uninterrupted and sufficient flow of aid into Gaza. Turkish Trade Minister Omar Bolat criticized Israel's uncompromising attitude towards a ceasefire as well as the humanitarian situation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Trade between the two countries was worth almost $7 billion last year. In reaction, Israel's foreign minister has accused the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, of acting like a dictator. Mr. Israel Katz says Mr. Erdogan is disregarding the interest of the Turkish people and its businessmen, and also ignoring international trade agreements. He adds that he has instructed Israel's foreign ministry to find alternatives to trade with Turkey, with a focus on local production and imports from other countries. In 1949, Turkey was the first Muslim-majority country to recognize Israel, but relations have worsened in recent decades. The president of Turkey, Tayyip Erdogan, has become increasingly tough in his criticisms of Israel since the deadly Hamas attack on Israel on the 7th of October last year, comparing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Adolf Hitler. But Mr. Netanyahu has said Turkey's leader is the last person who can preach morality to Israel.
And that's all we can take on the news for this hour. There is still quite a bit more coming your way after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jammies.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's
I
all we
can
can take.
I choose to stay.
Close the show, Father.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert, and a bit of night
exercises you can do to target your upper body. This workout isn't specific to just females but also men. So if you're ready, let's go. The first thing we're going to start with is back extension. So grab a mat. All you have to do is lay on the floor. I need you laying all the way down. You're going to have your hands. So imagine you want to swim, yeah? Have your hands forward. Bring those hands to the back, chest out. Bring forward and take it back. Remember, we're imitating the swimming position. So we're going to do that for 12 reps. Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it back for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is targeting our back muscles. 5. Right, that was so easy. Next thing we're doing is shoulder taps. So for this one, you're going to be in a plank position. Now this is targeting the upper body, but we also want to target the abs here. So what you're going to do, palms underneath your shoulders, Come into a high plank. Keep your abs engaged, tight. Hold here as you tap your shoulders for 1. Alternating sides. I'm going to do that for another 12 reps. You ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's walk. 1, 2. Control. 3. Try not to move your hips too much. 4, 5. Remember, we're engaging the abs here too. We got 1 more. Cool. All right. Now that was for your shoulders, your triceps. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to do regular push-ups. Yeah. So for regular push-ups, come up, go back, up, and back. That's modified. We're doing the advanced version. Your legs are all the way up. Remember, abs engaged. Take a deep breath as you go all the way down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Biceps, triceps, chest, shoulders, back, fully burning. That's so amazing. All right, so we have one last one. Now this is called the plank up, down. And as the name says, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Quick, simple, 4 simple routines you can do at home to get that quick upper body pump. Men, women, this is for you. I hope you liked it. See you next time.
Return back. When I started discussion and we're talking about bullying, but that's not the major point. It was a very eventful weekend. From Whiskey to Davido to Simi,
Sammy Clef,
that's Father Sam Clef One. That guy needs help.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't talk about someone's wife like that.
Wow.
Especially in those kind of terms. But, you know, but for me, one of the biggest stories had to do with social media comedian, influencer, presenter also, great lady I must say, Wofi, who just put up some wonderful videos of her engagement.
Yeah.
And then there was a traditional wedding almost immediately after. And oh wow, great guy looks so good. And then we just saw a letterhead, we the Cole family of Victoria Island.
Wow.
And a whole family put up a public statement denouncing the marriage, saying that they were not part of it.
Wow.
And that they don't support it. A public statement. And then the guy comes up and says he actually posted on social media, he has found love and he's going to stick with his love.
Wow.
And so that question started going back and forth.
Powerful.
Would you get married to a man whose family don't like you, or whose family don't approve of the wedding? Is that a red flag? Is that enough to say, I am not going to get married? Because truth be told, it's not like many of in-laws like the opposite spouse shall.
But
so
at least they give their blessing.
Okay, yes.
So there is something deeply spiritual about getting the blessing of parents and family. There's something deeply important to you as a person and how you are going to grow. Because in the end, you came from a place. And how they mentored you, how they taught you, how they raised you is part of you, right? And you are also going to have children who will need, you will need support in that sense, mentally, spiritually, from them. Prayers coming down to help your family later on. Now, but we are, as Africans, we're deeply spiritual people. In the abroad, they will probably give a middle finger to it all. Right? And this is not to say that this is not a union that will thrive or flourish. That's not to say that. It's just to say that we as a people, culturally speaking, we really put a lot of importance on the blessing of the family. That's it. That's just it for me. I would prefer to have the blessing of the family, but there is something endearing and sweet about a guy saying, you know, he would leave his family, you know, give a middle finger to everybody else, and stick with you.
Stick with you, yeah.
There is something deeply romantic about it, but when the romance,
When
the romance dies, what happens?
It seems like K-drama.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know. Winnie.
Wow. See, there are a lot of sides to this particular coin. It doesn't just have two sides, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always think about reasons why certain people's families say, okay, fine, we don't want this particular person.
Yeah.
We do not consent to this marriage, right? We don't know. We know. Okay, the family came out to say this, right? We don't know. They didn't give reasons why.
No, they did. They said the lady is 38, their son is 30, and she is pregnant apparently.
Okay.
They put that in the statement. She's pregnant apparently, so it seems like the boy was, I don't know, maybe he was
obligated.
Yeah, or
he felt obligated.
Exactly, into getting to the wedding, so that she's older, which I felt wasn't really a reason.
It's not a big enough reason.
Well, I don't know, but then you know.
There are some people that also look into, well, I'm not saying this is the case, you know, there are some parts of the East where people in some parts of the East don't want to marry some other people from other parts of the, you know, there's those other cultural differences, but then also now families do a lot of investigations, they make calls, they check backgrounds, they go through history, and then speaking of backgrounds, we're also hearing some other, you know, there was also a lot of other talk on social media about him, the man in question, and how he was in school. I don't know who read those tweets.
Oh yeah, so they were talking about him bullying and all that. So I think it was just an opportunity for some people because he was in the public eye to call him out. You know, but for me on this particular issue, I wanted to focus more on the marriage part. Maybe we'll get back to that part because talking about the bullies and all that, we've seen many people call out bullies and, well, as it were, you know, secondary school while we're growing up is very different from now. And that's why the Abuja case was there, you know. You shouldn't allow students beat their juniors. That is for school to do, you know. But back to this issue with this guy now, I would want to say, and I will agree with Titi, that yes, family is actually quite very important. You know, but then at the end, it's you that's going to live inside the marriage with the person. And yes, there's just something of when a guy says, okay, to hell. But what if something happened and, in quotes, the guy's eyes open later on? Or, you know, as some people would say, and, you know, this is his family. As much as possible, you will try to get. But in a situation where probably she's pregnant and all that, and, you know, it seemed like they had to do this, you know, I don't know. I would go with the one that this is an adult.
Yeah.
And when it comes to an adult,
now,
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a totally full-grown adult, and he has the right to make decisions for himself, right? But I feel something that is also very important to note is that, I mean, this is 2024. We have a lot of baby mamas lying up and down. So to be honest, I think we're past that stage where we say, okay, fine, a baby or a lady being pregnant can actually hold a guy and make that the main reason why she
was compelled
compelled to get married to her. So I feel that's actually totally out of the question. So now, as Titi said before, I mean, it's one thing for a family to say, okay, you know what, we don't necessarily approve of this, but then again, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Do you understand? It's now totally different when they now literally put their foot down. They're not literally now like put a statement publicly that, okay, fine, you know what, we are not even a party to this at all. And then another thing also that I think I would like to actually talk about is, I mean, fine, I understand Wofa is a public figure, one that's actually really, really loved by a lot, because a lot of people were talking about how the guy literally just collected her like that from Football Babe and all that. I think for me, it was actually just the bands that were actually really, really hilarious and all of that, right? But then again, I'm thinking, okay, now, you know there's a lot of this surrounding this particular circumstance, right? Was the idea or the decision to post about this particular thing, was it the right one? Do you understand?
Okay,
you know, like
for her to
actually think about it and all of that.
You know,
so
that is
very deep.
Accidentally. So
very deep.
You know, on April 1st, right? Ali Baba put up a post that he had triplets. And everybody thought it was April Fool. It was not April Fool.
Wow.
Papa dedicated triplets this weekend.
Wow.
And the talk is that I mean, he's 59, the wife is 55, so the talk is that it's a surrogate. Triplets. So I was on somebody else's state, or someone that was there, And I saw it to Alex. I said, so it's gonna be.
It was actually not a joke. Yeah, because I actually saw that and I thought it was actually just.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, see, and that is why I'm 1,000% for me always personal, private life stuff.
Yeah.
Of Benny, I keep it off.
Yeah.
That's another side to look at it. If you don't, because bringing your stuff out there as further. I mean, we're talking about it now because it's out there and all of that. I don't know if maybe because this was just after she posted.
Yes, that
maybe if she didn't post it,
maybe we wouldn't have gotten this.
Maybe I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. But there's nothing wrong with posting. There's nothing wrong with posting your achievements if you want to.
As someone who has a man that stood up for her.
Yeah, he actually did come out to stand up for her. So I give them kudos for that.
Yeah,
I wish them the best.
Definitely.
If they go ahead with this, I wish them the best.
I mean, on social media, people, you should rest.
Exactly.
It's not your matter. Rest in the name of the Lord.
Yes, what
God cannot do does not exist in your life. Let's take a quick break. But we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know what you think.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jammies. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, Yi Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked.
You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman.
Damn!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Now we have an amazing lady in the building today, and her name is Miss Tura Shitu. She is also known as the Real Wealth Queen, and we also used to know her as the Lady Carpenter. Now, whenever you hear stories like this, you're definitely inspired. It's great to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning.
All right. So now last time you here was about, 4 years ago?
That's true.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
And you came to come and talk about your carpentry business.
Absolutely.
And all that. But you've really evolved since then. I know that you're into short letting and, of course, real estate in the USA. You need to talk to us about what's been happening from then till now.
Well, thank you, Titi. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back in the studio. People know me to be the lady carpenter, and I was also into real estate in Nigeria and hospitality business.
Okay.
But there was need for me to, expand. And I saw the opportunity in United States, and a lot of people, go to United States for vacation, for whatever, but we don't really understand and have the knowledge of what is happening in the United States, how to build wealth, how to make money legitimately through real estate. So I saw that opportunity, I keyed into it, and within a short period, I was able to do a lot. And I was like, okay, I can't keep this to myself.
Okay.
I need to bring this back home. I need to tell my people
about
how to. Exactly. That we actually have lenders in the United States who are willing to.
Let me stop you there, because let's talk about the compare and contrast of real estate here in Nigeria and that of the US. So here we have a lot of developers. We have brokers that sell land, especially in Lagos and the environs. I know you've tried that business before, but what's the difference between doing it here and doing it abroad?
Number one thing is the funding.
Okay.
You have people, lenders, who are willing to give you 90% of the value of the property in America.
Wow.
But we hardly find that here. If you want to build a house in Nigeria, let's say it costs 100 million naira.
Okay.
I kid you not, you have to bring that money out of your pocket.
Of course.
Yes, I know we have mortgage in Nigeria too, but how many people have the documentation to access that mortgage? But in the United States, it's the reverse is the case. All you need is just your LLC, your EIN, that is your employer identification number, and your bank account.
Okay,
that's just what they need.
Obviously, when you talk about owning property abroad, you assume that you are a citizen or at least have a long-term visa, or maybe a family member that lives in the US.
Far from the truth. That's not true.
Okay.
So what you need to own your property in the United States are those things I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Your LLC, your
So you have to own a company?
Yes, you have to incorporate your company, limited liability company.
Okay.
Then with that, you have your EIN. Your EIN is also like your socials.
Okay.
But
like
not for social security number, but not for yourself personally, but for your business. And with that EIN, you can do a lot of things. You can employ people. Even while you're in Nigeria, you can employ people with your EIN. You can do a lot of things. You can access mortgage.
Okay.
You can, access funding, which we don't have here. We don't really have that as a real estate investor here in Nigeria. You had to raise that money privately or through your families or friends and all of that. But you have lenders who are willing to borrow you that money without even seeing you, without you leaving the United States.
Wow.
So when I saw these opportunities, I said, wow, I have to bring this back home and tell my people.
So this is something you've done back to back. We're seeing some visuals there, some videos there.
Yes.
Now, these properties you're showing us are in Texas, right?
They're in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas.
Absolutely.
And so essentially, if you buy these properties, what are you doing with them? Are you living or moving into them immediately, or what are you doing with them?
No, as a real estate investor, you are buying and selling, or you're buying and renting it out.
Okay.
So we call it fix and flip. The first one is we buy undervalued property or distressed properties, right?
When you say distressed, that means somebody really just needed to sell their property.
Somebody needed to sell the property through wholesalers.
Okay.
Most people buy from the MLS, that's a multi-listing service.
Yeah.
But we buy from the wholesalers. We buy from people who are willing to sell their property. They don't have time to waste. Let's say they are going through divorce, probate, or inheritance, or they want to move. They don't have that time, luxury of time. So they sell to the wholesalers. We buy from them. Then we rehab them. That means we add value to those properties. Then we sell them at the market price. We buy under the market price. So we buy, take for example, you buy a property of $50,000. You had value of $30,000. You have the luxury of selling that property like $230,000.
And those are some of the finished pictures we're just seeing there.
Exactly.
But because you are also into furniture and fittings and you understand all that, I guess the flipping part of it is also of interest to you.
Exactly.
So now we know what it is to, get property here in Nigeria and, to kit it out. It's not very cheap to do that.
Yeah.
It feels like a very expensive venture. But I'm not sure if it's easier abroad to do. Talk to us about
It's actually easier.
Okay.
Because here in Nigeria, you get to raise that money yourself.
Okay.
But over there, like I mentioned earlier, the lenders will borrow you 100%
Wow.
of the value of the rehab.
Okay, so you said 90% of the value of the
property, up to 90%.
Okay.
And they will borrow you 100% of the rehab costs.
To rehabilitate
it. So depending on your exit strategy.
Okay.
If your exit strategy is fix and flip, that is you're buying, you're rehabbing, and you're selling it within 6 months, then you make your income or your profit.
Yeah.
The second one is the broad strategy. The broad strategy is an acronym for buy, rehab, you rent it, you refinance. That means at that refinance stage, the bank will borrow you 80% of the value of that property. Not all this figure.
Wow.
The initial lender will borrow you 90%. We call them hard money lenders. But when you're done, we've added value to banks will not buy. They will not undervalue because they don't understand the value. But when you have that value, then the bank will borrow you up to 80% of the value of the property. Then the last R of the broad strategy is repeat.
Okay.
Because
so
you are an investor, then you repeat that process.
Okay, so obviously we don't want to let too many cats out of the bag because we know that this is what you do and you are the specialist in it. We can't really put a value on it until you actually see it. But I'm seeing some before and after shots there, and it's really impressive. But how long did it take for you to learn all this? Because it's one thing to do it in Nigeria and then start finding your feet abroad. Did you have to go to school or a training school or
Obviously,
college? Talk to us about that.
I'm a protege of Grant Cardone. If you're very familiar with social media, I'm one of the students in Grant Cardone, and also I'm a student in California, Real Success Real Estate Academy.
Wow.
I had to go to those schools to learn how to build wealth and also to understand the loopholes that most people don't know and understand.
Please don't tell us those loopholes.
Well,
don't tell us
no problem.
But we know there are definitely some loopholes that work. Yeah. But now, why go up? So this is the question now. Everybody is saying we need to reinvest in our own country. Why go abroad now? Why did you go outside? Why couldn't you just, stay home and focus on building?
Well, it's just the main thing is access to funding.
Okay.
It is easier to access funding over there than here. Then we all know the power of dollar. I mean, if you own your investment legitimately, as an investor, you can have different buckets of investments.
Okay.
So you have your investment back home in Nigeria, and you also have abroad. Sometimes you want to go for your vacation. You're not thinking of how I'm going to do the exchange rates and all of that
because you already have
you have your money there. Exactly. You're thinking of medical bills. Your children's school fees. You can actually invest in this kind of properties, and you know that whatever profit you're making from them, you can put these profits into your exit strategy and your goal.
Wow. I have to say, it's one of the first times I'm actually hearing someone break down something you could do abroad that doesn't involve going into, a caregiving industry, or maybe, security. And so there are a lot of people that, go drive trucks, they go into logistics and start, joining different industries abroad. But this is one of the first times I'm hearing about this real estate angle. But here, the climate is very different. So it does take a lot of learnings. But what advice would you give to anyone who has maybe heard this now and is, has a few questions? What advice would you give to them? They're probably thinking about doing something like this. What would you say?
Well, I will advise them to just plunge in. You can research all this information I said on the internet. I didn't, invent anything. So if you're willing to, if any of those things fit into your goal, like you want to have money abroad for your vacation, for your children's school fees and all of that. And because of the fluctuation in our currency, you can actually plug into this real estate opportunities.
Okay.
And you're sure that you have your legitimate business, you have your money working for you whilst you're here. Not all of us will want to move to abroad, definitely.
Okay.
But you have your investment. You don't have to live in America to own these properties.
Wow.
And the lenders doesn't even need to know you. All they need is just those 3 documents.
Wow.
And you're fine. You're building generational wealth. That is the key. You want, like I always say that I want my grandchildren or great-great-grandchildren to think about me in the grave and like, oh my God, we've got the best grandma or great-grandma because I'm leaving wealth for them. That's my goal.
Mr. Ashitu here, the Real Wealth Queen. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thanks for having
about
me.
Real Wealth USA. And it does seem to be a very interesting strategy, something you might want to look into. Of course, you can check her out on social media, and of course, once you're following us, you'll be getting more information as well. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tag us #WakeUpNigeria TVCE, and tell us what you think about what Ms. Tura is doing. All right then, let's take another quick break. We have quite a bit coming your way right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
When was the first Google Ultimate Search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Pere. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed though. The team that you're supporting. And
Ghana will be alright.
Yeah, last.
Charlie? Cheers, Charlie.
It's so beautiful Monday morning, the first Monday in May, and we're definitely ready to make breakfast with you. And I have with me Chef Tade. Morning, Chef. How are you doing?
Fine.
All right. So tell me, our recipe today seems quite simple and straight to the point.
Simple.
What are we making?
We're making potatoes with local sauce.
Potatoes with local sauce, that's what you said. Okay, so what's making the sauce local? Tell me.
What makes it local is your palm oil.
Okay.
Because we're used to palm oil.
Yeah.
And pepper.
Pepper, okay. Yes. What type of pepper is that?
Roughly blended.
Roughly blended.
Yes.
What type of pepper?
Jalapeno with tomatoes.
Please bring it to the local land. Which one is jalapeno?
Bawa.
Bawa, okay. Is that shombo?
Yeah, no shombo, it's bawa.
The skinny one. Oh, okay. Okay. And
crayfish.
Tatashe? Do we have tatashe in
No
there?
tatashe. Yeah.
No, so just
bawa.
Just bawa. Okay.
Tomatoes. Yeah.
All right, and tomatoes, and then we have a crayfish.
Yeah.
All right, and we have salt and onions. We have a sweet
fish.
And we have a fish. Okay, amazing. Tell me, are we boiling the
Yes,
fish?
we're boiling it.
I mean the tomato. What am I saying?
Potatoes.
The potato. We're boiling it, not frying it.
No frying.
Okay, great. So we're just boiling that and then making a sauce with this. Tell me, how are we making this local sauce? What's the process?
The process is we have to blanch this with onions.
Okay.
I'll blanch it with onions.
All right.
Then add my pepper into it.
Okay.
Then add seasoning and salt. And then I'll add my
crayfish. All right. What time does the fish go in? Are we frying the fish?
Yeah.
Are we just
fry the fish a little? Then at the end, just display.
Just put it to the side, so it's not like we're mashing it in or anything. Oh, amazing! Actually, it seems really nice and straightforward and easy to cook. So now, what are we starting with? I guess we have our pot there. Yeah, so let's boil that. So I love the fact that our sweet potatoes are already peeled and washed and sliced. I love sweet potatoes, but whenever I think of making it, the stress in peeling it alone is quite stressful.
Yes.
Peeling it and cutting it, I'm like, yo, why? Such a lovely food. Why do you have to be so difficult to work with? But yeah, I see you cut them in flats.
Yes.
Cubes, and it doesn't take long to cook as well.
It takes a while.
It does?
I had to break
Oh, really?
it down. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Unlike the Irish potato, that one is very soft.
This one takes. Are you sure?
Yes.
I know me. I don't think because me when there's a hack. There's a hack I do whenever I'm working with potatoes. So instead of peeling it and cutting it, I literally just wash it.
Okay.
Right? Yes. I wash it. Then I run a knife from the top to the bottom. That's after taking off the two ends, and just run a knife and I boil it like that. So by the time it's boiled and cooled, I just peel it off. And I'm like, see, when it comes to these clean hacks and everything comes simple, you can count on me. I have the tricks for you, right? All right, so now our potatoes are literally on the fire and boiling. That shouldn't take so long. And then we can start frying with our... What do you need? You need a chopping board? Okay, I'm going to help you with that in a bit. But do you have a knife there? Okay, so I think we need to get some things.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there's a knife there.
Well, I can't.
Okay, so now while we need to, our cutting board went on a discovery, on an experience. We definitely have to go to Titi on the couch while we allow Chef Tade put this amazing, sumptuous breakfast together. And it's definitely going to be one that's going to be amazing for the cold weather. And Titi, what's happening on the couch?
It's all about the motivation this Monday. We've already started motivating you little by little, and we're taking it a step further with the amazing Gabriel Balogun. He is a speaker, workshop facilitator, and learning and development leader. He's known for cultivating high-performing teams using a blend of content, tech, and systems. Now, he speaks regularly on subjects that empower human capital and drive personal development. Today, we're talking about maximizing our time and getting a lot more done in very little time. It's great to have you back. Welcome.
It's always good to come back.
You know, this issue of time management, the word that pops into my head is this issue of procrastination. You know, time management for a lot of companies and individuals has become a challenge because of distractions.
Yeah.
I just get distracted. My attention span is a lot shorter. I feel like I'm in this microwave age where everything that can be done needs to be done quickly.
True.
So what exactly can I do to make sure I'm maximizing all the time I have? Talk to us.
So let me quickly share 3 things. I think that the first thing everybody needs to get is that you can't manage time. You're supposed to actually manage your energy.
Okay.
So time is anything that is fixed cannot be managed. It's 24 hours.
Okay.
You can't manage it to be 48 hours. You can't manage it to be 72 hours. Okay. So it's fixed. So what you need to do within that fixed time is to now manage your energy. That's like the very first thing.
Okay.
And in your attempt to manage your energy, you need to understand first your body cycle. So there are people that work very well between 6 to 10. Some people work after lunch. Some people work late in the night. Some people work 12 midnight. So I think you need to figure out what time works for you first. Now that works a lot for entrepreneurs. It cannot work for 9 to 5.
Of course.
Right? So that's an idea. Another idea is to batch your work. So a mistake we make is we try to multitask, and when you try to multitask, you will procrastinate a lot.
Okay.
So it's wisdom to say, I'm going to answer emails for the next 30 minutes, and all I'm doing is emails. Batch every kind of emails you need to respond to. Say, okay, I could throw in WhatsApp chats, throw in Facebook chats. I just need to respond to people.
Okay.
Let me do it for the next 31 hour, right? Then you can say, oh, I'm giving 3 hours to just crafting something. Because the way the brain works is a portion of your mind helps you craft things. A portion of your mind just helps you mumble things. A portion of your mind helps you to respond to things. So it's not fair on your mind if you're trying to craft at the same time, respond at the same time. You'll get distracted. That's how distractions creep in. So if all I'm doing is building strategies or designing, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. And once I'm done, I move on to the next thing. So those are like 3 things.
So I feel like you're speaking from the perspective of a man. Not to say that men do not multitask. Well, but it is said,
we actually don't.
It is said that women multitask better. The truth is, even as I'm sitting here now, I've already calculated what time my kids are going to get to school. Whether before you got here onto the couch, I knew how much food was left in the house. I knew what I needed to buy before they get back from school. I knew I needed to get fuel before. My mind is sort of compartmentalized. So I feel like, I might be wrong, I feel like I'm getting things done.
Okay.
Am I assuming wrongly that my strategy right now is working for me? Or should I just improve, or should I change strategies, or should I improve on what I already have?
Let me attempt to answer that. So I think that we think getting stuff done is taking off to-dos.
Okay.
No. If I am to spend time with you, and I say I want to spend 30 minutes with you, and in that 30 minutes, I'm thinking of work.
Okay.
I'm thinking of kids.
Okay.
I'm thinking of that. I've not spent 30 minutes with you.
Okay.
I've spent possibly 10 minutes because my mind is flying around. And women tackle men a lot for that. You're with me, but you're not with me.
Okay.
You're with me, you're pressing your phone. You're with me, you are thinking of something else. Be with me. So I think that if you're going to get work done, you need to just zero out on everything.
Okay.
And focus on that. And say when it's time for kids, when we get to that bridge, we will cross it.
Okay.
Right. But I think multitasking is the biggest scam ever. Because what you would do is in 1 hour, you spend 10 minutes on several things instead of spending 1 hour on one thing and then going to the next.
So in other words, you're not putting your full attention on one thing.
Yes, you're not.
So you're not giving it your 100%.
All.
Okay. So now let's talk about the number of hours we actually have in a day. Because it's not exactly 24. We don't actually have 24. If we take 24 hours and we say, yes, we have to be, we're supposed to be asleep for 8 hours. Supposed to be. Let's even say 6 hours, right? So that means you have 18 hours left. Out of that 18 hours, let's say you spend 3 hours, let's say 1 hour per meal, right? You do 3 meals. That's another 3 hours gone, meaning you have 15 hours left.
Okay.
Right? Now you have traffic, which is probably an hour to work and an hour back.
In Lagos.
Right? That's another 2 hours gone.
It's like 1 hour extra, so maybe like 3 hours.
Okay, so for 15 hours, remove, let's say 3 hours.
Yeah.
Then you have 12 hours left.
Yes.
To dedicate to work, right? So you're at your desk, you have 12 hours. How would you divide that 12 hours?
Very excellent question. I work in batches. That's why I said batches. I work in batches of 3s.
Yeah.
So 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. That's four batches.
Okay.
So 9 to 12. Yeah. I do my first 3 hours.
Okay.
12 to 12:30 or 12 to 1.
Yeah.
I'm in the office, gisting, playing, tapping somebody's shoulder because I know I have another 3 hours to go back to.
Okay.
So what eventually happens is I might not even do 4 batches, but I will confidently do 3 batches.
Okay.
Because 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour in between is for resting and power naps. eating, gisting, playing around. So the beauty is, if you batch your work, you will realize that you manage your energy. That's secret one. Secret two is delegation. So, and then I'm lucky I have a team that works with me. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do that another person can do? Please do it.
Wow.
If I spend the 1 hour that you're using to do it to watch a Netflix show, I'm fine.
Wow.
My brain will rest so that I can craft something else, right? But delegation is the second best
But
thing.
not every employer will allow this kind of, I'm going to call them excesses. You just mentioned Netflix now. You mentioned tapping someone's shoulder in the office.
But you know, you
minutes.
can't take away those conversations that happen in the office. Netflix, yes, of course you can.
Yeah.
But that in between cannot disappear.
So, but the delegation, is it because it's more productive or is it because you need rest?
It's more productive.
Okay.
It's more productive to do things, to get people to do things that you know you can do, but they can possibly do better or do to your level. It just saves you time to do something else. So you can bring tomorrow's work into today because you delegated part of today's work to someone else.
Gabriel Balogun in the building, maximizing your time. So let's batch our work and see if this strategy works for us. There are probably about 12 proper hours in the day. What are you using your 12 hours to do? Are you getting your strategy right? Hopefully we've been able to help. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tell us and tag us at WakeUpNigeria TVCE. All right then, let's take another quick break. There's still a lot coming your way on Wake Up Nigeria.
Dark marks, I've tried everything. Nivea Lumina 630 works from day one with visible results in just 2 weeks and 71%.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
Yeah. Now, if you think the first hour was fabulous, just wait till we reel out what we prepared for the second 45 minutes of the ultimate family breakfast show.
Quite an interesting discussion you had there earlier on.
Yeah.
The first one.
Real estate.
Okay,
Real wealth.
wonderful. And of course, there was motivation after that. Come on. We're here this Monday to ensure that we give you the best. Even though we started on a cold note, when the rain was falling, what were you doing?
Say it one more time.
What were you doing when it started raining?
Oh, I was just about to get out of bed. Now, the issue I have.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs,
and then we have quite a bit coming your way, especially when it comes to music. This masked man is called Simone. He's a rapper, singer, songwriter, and he has an EP and several singles in his docket. Now, this masked artist says he prefers to conceal his identity. We will be asking him why.
Okay, Titi, this is where you come in.
Yes,
We have
Maputo.
Maputo. I'll tell you where you come in.
What?
All the way from Maputo, Mozambique is a symphony of cultures and languages as vast as eyes can see. And we're joined by Amapiano superstars.
Yaba Buluku. The Yaba Buluku boys. They're going to be talking about their first magnum opus, Donsa. And a long-awaited studio album. Yeah,
So you need to say that thing again. Yeah.
Yaba Buluku. Yaba Buluku. Yeah. It was such a thing. Like what? Was it 2-3 years ago?
Sometime back like that.
Still a club banger forever. I actually think.
Let's check out what Winfrey's doing in the kitchen, yeah? Okay, Winfrey.
It smells good.
How's it going? What's up? Talk to us.
It's going great. Mike, guess what?
What?
We're
Talk to me.
frying
What?
fish.
Huh?
What did
you say?
We're frying fish.
I'm out of here.
Fish is not Mike's favorite thing right now.
Right now, no, it's not. But then again, I'm here with Chef Tade, and Chef Tade is ready. He's always ready. Just came. The food is almost ready, literally. We're making. Here's just join us. We're literally making sweet potatoes, right? And it's boiling. And traditional sauce. He calls it traditional sauce. So now for traditional sauce, Chef, tell us what do we have in the pan?
Have palm oil.
Alright.
And have roughly blended pepper. You just have to season and your
And it's amazing because I love the fact that I can literally smell the aroma. There's a smell that caramelized onion actually gives when it's brown. Right? I totally love it. Right, and the oil was bleached, right, with the oil, and there's a lot of onion in there, and I love it. And then the pepper, the tomato, and now we're literally just adding the crayfish, and it's almost ready. I love this breakfast because it's actually quick, very, very quick. Do you understand? Breakfast is not to be taken forever and ever. It should be really quick, and this is actually almost fried. We have our fish. That's something interesting you're doing, Chef. You're frying the fish with palm oil.
Yeah, with palm oil.
Ooh, I didn't know you could do that.
You can do that.
I actually did not know you could do that. Like, okay, probably I knew, but like I probably haven't tried it before. So it's definitely going to also take the traditional taste to another level, right? As opposed to, normally frying with granule oil as we're used to. Amazing, I love it. We learn every single day. I know I've tried palm oil akara before, and I totally love it, and all of that. I wonder what that's going to taste like. And you also know that palm oil is also really healthy, and we should do more things with palm oil than vegetable oil. Yeah, amazing. So everything is coming together really nicely.
Yeah.
I love how, breakfast is literally almost ready right here now. Chef, so what do you have to say about, Mike shared an incident he had with us over the weekend. What do you have to say about that? When it comes to cooking, so Mike shared an incident with us, so he had fish over the weekend that literally made him sick. Right, probably contamination and things like that. As a chef, you cook and all of that. Do you usually have people complain about things like that?
Yes, we do, and that's on allergy. We ask them.
Yes.
We ask if they're allergic to any of those things.
Any of the ingredients you use and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of the rule.
It's part of the
you
rule.
must.
All right. Amazing. So that's how he literally makes sure that all his customers are actually good. Right, you ask if you're allergic to anything, so make sure you communicate that whenever you're ordering food. And also, food vendors, please be hygiene is very, very important. So whenever you're cooking for people, make sure you're super, super clean with everything you do. Anyways, right now it's time for us to check out the weather and see if the rains persist. I definitely want them to persist. Let's see what the weather's like. We'll be right back.
show starts in 3, 2, and...
We're here again on your screens this beautiful morning doing what we do best.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one metal.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take.
I choose
Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today
we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. This is the entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I know.
I don't overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good walking.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Back Table.
We want to, at this point, shout out to our amazing producers for making sure that we have musical performance every single day on Wake Up Nigeria. Because what is Wake Up without music? Absolutely Wake Up without music. All right, so right now for musical performance, I have something quite interesting. I have Simone. Now, he is a rapper, singer, songwriter with an EP and several singles to his discography. Now, Simone is a masked artist, and he prefers wearing a mask to conceal his identity. Hi, Simone, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today.
So tell me, what's the mystery behind the mask?
Okay, I just like being private. That's what I do majorly. I like being private.
You like being private?
Yeah.
And you want to do a career that is public?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so this is all about your privacy, nothing more.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, tell me why. Do you is Lagbaja like your role model?
Yeah, he inspires
your
me.
Family member?
He inspires me. Marshmallow also inspires me.
He inspires you?
Yeah. Alan Walker also.
All right, amazing. Are you ready to perform for us?
Sure, no problem. I got you.
Okay, tell me, what's the title of your song?
Don't Die Young.
Don't Die Young.
Yeah.
All right, it's a very important message. All right, take it away. We're ready for you.
Plants are alive. Plants are beautiful. Plants are givers. They come in green, yellow, all the colors of the rainbow. I wonder why it's taken us so long to actually have plants in our homes and living workspaces. My name is Blessing Akushie, and I'm an interior designer, and I use plants to decorate spaces. There's several kinds of plants that we can actually have in our living space. We have things like the cactus, the snake tree. We also have flowers, so many kinds of flowers. We have roses, lilies, phonies, so many other kinds of flowers we can actually have in our homes. Either they're real life or they're artificial. Each of them give a beautiful kind of ambiance. They set a mood to the home space and environment where we live. So there's so many plants we can actually have in our living space. For the interior, I'll take you around, and for the outdoors, where we are right now, I'll pinpoint some of the plants we use in this space. All right, so let me take you around. This is a species of a cactus, and it's living right now. And it's growing. It's actually going to be like a snake plant that's going to go across all this wood. It's beautiful. It doesn't need so much water, and it doesn't need light. So if you can see, this place is actually covered up. It doesn't need so much water. So this is like 1 week without water. So by the time we actually have more water, it brightens up. This other one is also a snake plant. And it's going to crawl, similar to this, crawl along the wall. This is beautiful. It's another shade of green, and it gives an ambiance of life. This is a cactus tree, or cactus plant. You might say, oh, my kids might come play with it, and it might pinch them on their fingers. So you can actually put it somewhere at the top, like where I put it. It's at the top of the fence, so maybe your pets and your animals in the house, your little kids can actually touch them. But it's actually beautiful. These are beautiful, just as beautiful. This is a species of a fern tree. Okay, this is another outdoor plant, and it's beautifully hung on a wood frame. And then I chose an orange pot because the theme in the house is actually orange. Now this plant is actually living, it's alive, although it has some dead branches, some dead leaves and all, due to lack of water. 3 things to watch out for in live plants: watering, trimming, and then speaking to the plants. Sometimes speaking to the plants make them come alive more. Okay, this is so beautiful. Let's go out and see some other plants that are just as beautiful and even more beautiful than these. This is a beautiful work of art. Wow, it's beautiful. You can do the same thing in your house. Choose one wall, an accent wall, and let that be your flower planted wall. What we have here is called a plant wall. So we took a bare wall, and instead of hanging the regular artwork, a picture of your husband and your wife or your children, those are also special things to capture in your living room, making it a media wall of plants. You can also use plants on the shelf. Let me show you one of our shelves. This is the TV media wall, also called a TV shelf. And here I put in 2 plants All right, so this is a beautiful pot, clay pot, and if you actually look around this particular living room, there are two paramount colors. There is chocolate brown and there is orange. So this pot is chocolate brown to offset the wall on the other side of the room. And then the natural green, it's an artificial plant actually, to offset the white, just to give it a pop. So because these are artificial, they don't actually give off fresh air, just give off beauty. Plants, flowers, they're so beautiful. They take your breath away. So why don't you have some plants in your home today?
This week on Reality Check, we bring more exciting and scintillating gist for your pleasure. The hottest gist from Nigerian Idol Season 9 auditions.
You are the first person we're gonna give a platinum ticket.
Hi, we're about to start the show. Hey, yeah. Team are getting ready. We're gonna start very, very soon.
The show starts in 3, 2, and...
We're here again on your screens this beautiful morning doing what we do best.
Entertainment. Join the fun. The new happy.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and right about now it's time for us to have our SME discussion. And today I have some quite interesting. I have Ambassador Engineer Victory Ifeanyichukwu Olisedeme, the founder and CEO of Frosh Tech Automotive, also known as a celebrity mechanic. He's definitely with us right now. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so now probably one of the stylish mechanics I've actually seen around.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, tell me about Frosh Tech. Tell me about what you do.
Okay, Frosh Tech is an automotive company in Nigeria, and we do everything vehicles, everything automotive, ranging from services to maintenance to repairs to transformation, upgrades, pimping. Like I said, everything automotive.
Anything that has to do with,
so it's a one-stop shop.
It's a one-stop shop.
Just come in and tell us what
everything.
you want.
Okay, amazing. I love the fact that I literally see a corporate-looking guy, professional-looking guy, literally actually take up this task to be a mechanic. So are you a mechanic yourself, or do you have mechanics that work for you?
I am a mechanic myself.
You're a mechanic, so you go on that cars and you screw.
Of course, yeah.
Wow,
and I can actually work like this.
You can work like this.
Nice.
Staying. Okay, so it's not a, mechanics in Nigeria especially, they are known to have a certain image.
That's like
right?
the identity, yeah.
That's the
when
identity,
you see them, you
exactly.
automatically know.
You're saying that they are mechanics.
Yeah,
okay,
but that's one thing we are actually transforming in the automotive industry.
All right.
So you don't look at mechanics as mad people.
We don't look at them as mad people like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me, where did this vision start from? And for you, what is the goal? What is the idea? What are you trying to push? What is the vision?
Okay, so I'll call it a talent because it started from when I graduated from school, and that was in 2016, and I was in Delta State, and my dad was like, boy, you need to, there's this not trending, but there's this thing he likes, and he would like me to do it. That they use computer to find fault in vehicles.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is what I studied in school.
What did you study in school? Mechanical?
No,
electrical?
computer science.
Computer science. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, why don't I channel this knowledge into the automotive industry? All my colleagues, all my students, all my mates were doing this software.
Software, yes.
And I hardly see young people, doing this, and I took it upon myself as a challenge. Let me try this, and that was how I came to Lagos. And I did my training.
Okay.
Trust me.
Talk about this training. Tell me about this training. Tell me more about this training, because I'm trying to think of how getting like training here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
For what you do.
So initially, it wasn't something that was planned for me to go directly to the school and learn this. So my dad sent me with one of his mechanic friends that they know how to do it, and when I got there, it wasn't giving me the vibe I wanted, because it's more like those roadside stuff.
Yes.
And I wasn't feeling the energy, and I started looking for something better. It took me about 2 weeks, 1 month to be able to find a place that I liked. So I found an automotive school in Nigeria,
automotive
in Lagos,
school in Nigeria here.
And when I made inquiry, I was like, in fact, before I made inquiry, as I passed through the gate, I saw people like me,
like you,
walking.
people. You say people
like young people,
yes.
So when I was like, this is the place. And I made inquiry, I trained, and then
how long did this training
take? It was supposed
take?
to be 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but because of my drive and passion, the management saw how passionate I was, and they decided for me to stay back and continue the training, because normally 6 months is not supposed to be enough to learn what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I stayed back, and because of the zeal, the way I work, they retained me when my training was done. And sent me to head one of their branch in Lagos. So all these experiences was being gathered, and then I established
First Tech. Amazing. 2019, and it's been amazing since then. Because now you're actually coming in and telling me about how you're the only celebrity mechanic in Nigeria. Please explain more, expatiate on that.
You asked me a question initially. Yes. How did this come up? So whatever I'm doing right now, I didn't learn it in the school. What I learned was just the basics. Finding faults, that was all. But then, and I told you, it's talent, right?
Yes.
So when I see something, I already know what to do. So with the basic knowledge that I was given, I'm able to transform that and do whatever I'm doing now. Because even the school I trained, they don't even do up to half of what I do.
So now tell me about this thing you do now at First Tech, right?
Yeah.
So now besides literally working on people's cars, there's also a training part of it.
Yeah,
now
we also have an academy.
An academy, okay.
Yeah, so we have an academy that we train car enthusiasts. We train people that are passionate about cars. But not just that, we also train car drivers, mechanics, But what we are teaching right now is auto diagnosis and repair, because that is like the basic foundation that you will need to be able to excel and escalate to maybe go up or go higher.
Yeah.
And you know, vehicles of nowadays are complex. They are more of electronics.
Yes.
So you need good knowledge
True.
to be able to attend to these vehicles.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. And I love it because I mean, talking about automotive trainings and talking about electronics, softwares to do different things. My husband is actually a car head.
Oh,
so the petrol head. So he literally does a lot of tuning.
Oh, wow.
And
I like
all
that.
of that.
I'd like to meet him.
So now we all know, I mean, after, I don't even know which one comes first. After Nigerian tailors, I think mechanics are the most sworn for. After Nigeria, I'm not sure which one comes first. But then again, the fact that you're literally putting in the work to literally make this, the system, the industry a little bit more formal and professional.
Regulated and standard.
Yeah, because most times, as we had a conversation before we started this, most times, mechanics is trial and error, right? They're not, most of them are not educated. They don't have the requisite knowledge they need to actually work with these cars. So they just try this. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, they try that and all of that. But now you're literally putting structures to that. So how much have you been able to break into that space, right? It's one thing for you now. You went to school. After you graduated, you looked for an automotive school to go to, right? Do we have people just walking like that actually want the knowledge to actually go into these things?
Okay, so we've been able to inspire a lot of youths, Nigerian youths, to look into this trade school as alternative to instead of doing what everybody is doing.
Okay.
So we've been able to break into Nigeria. We've been able to gain this trust that when you go to Froshtech, your vehicle is not coming back the way it went there.
Okay.
Remember, the vehicle's coming there as a problem.
Yes.
So leaving there is not supposed to go back with the problem.
Yes.
So we've been able to gain this trust. And with our influence, a lot of youth, a lot of Nigerian youth have seen this like, this is also something that would, I mean, nice, you know. So a lot of people are looking into, they're making inquiry. We've also trained a lot of mechanics. We've trained a lot of youths. After school, they come and we train them, and they are good. Most of them are working on their own now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, yeah. So you've actually been able to actually penetrate that market, and gradually, one car after the other, you're definitely taking up that space. I think that's actually really, really amazing. And I mean, I feel it's something that's very credible.
Yeah.
Now, so now when you look,
everybody needs to know that if you don't get your diagnosis right,
that's where the problem starts.
Yeah, that was where the problem starts from.
Yes.
So the diagnosis is more important, and to be able to diagnose a vehicle properly, you need intense knowledge. You need to be able to know where you are going to directly.
Yes.
You know.
All right, amazing. So we actually have breakfast prepared for you. But as we go, just tell me, look at yourself, look at Nigeria, the industry of mechanics right now. The next 5-10 years, what are your dreams?
Okay, so Froshtech has a dream of building an automotive city.
Okay.
In Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay.
So I really don't want to talk much about that.
Why?
So
You don't want us to steal your idea?
No, I've given you, a tip of the iceberg. Yeah,
and
so
automotive city, that would be incredible.
when I talk about city, look at Tyler Perry Studios. You can literally shoot all Hollywood movies in that studio. So when I say city, when you come in there, it's a city where international shows will be hosted, you know, everything automotive, like I said. And God knows, maybe tomorrow we'll start building our own vehicles.
So you're looking at shows as well?
Of course, yeah.
Have you ever been to Revs and Runway? If you say no,
sure. So race, drifts,
so
racing, drifting, competition, rebuilding an engine, or, you know, transformation, car wraps. So these are the dreams. These are what we are bringing. I mean, I feel in Nigeria, automotive is kind of boring a little.
Yes.
But want to spice it up.
Want to spice it up.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, great. Okay, so we have breakfast ready for you. We'd like to feed you so you have more inspiration to work on more cars. Amazing. So let's proceed to the kitchen.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's been a marvelous Monday.
It has been. Welcome into the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. And this is Chef Tade. He's been hard at work trying to put together that breakfast for you. We'd like for you to taste it and let us know what you think. So now that's sweet potato. Chef, tell us what we have on the plate.
Yeah, we have sweet potatoes and local sauce. Yeah.
Yes.
Local sauce.
Local sauce with some fried fish, of course.
It looks amazing.
Yes. So please try it out.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Okay.
Hopefully you're not fasting. Try it out.
I'm loving the effect with is that palm oil?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Just like a drizzle of palm oil at the edges there. The fish has been
Very soft.
right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the sauce?
Great.
All right.
Great.
Fantastic. All right. I love the way he keeps spinning the plate around.
The sauce is not very spicy, so I like it. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. We have to, apologize. The Yaba Buluku guys, the boys, they've been in traffic trying to get here for quite a bit, but they just missed it. Because we're wrapping up the show right now, but we can't wait to give them another opportunity to be part of the show very, very soon.
All right, amazing. Thanks to everyone who actually stuck around here with us today on this beautiful edition. Thanks to the crew, thanks to the guests, thanks to our audience watching. We'll see you tomorrow
at 7 a.m.
Goodbye.
Bye.